Welcome once again to Giants Live, the qualifying tour for the World's Strongest Man finals coming up later this year in Manila. Today we're off to Leeds, the First Direct Arena, for the biggest event in strongman outside the world's Europe's Strongest Man. And what a list of ingredients we have here. There's three-time European champion Hafthor Bjornsson, the Mountain. There's two of the most up-and-coming stars in strongman in Janashia and Kiliskowski. There's a man with 26-inch arms. And there's also the reigning strongest man in the world, Eddie Hall, who's in town looking to set a new world record. Sounds like we could be in for something pretty special at the First Direct Arena. The First Direct Arena, a venue now synonymous with strength.
How much do we want to see this?
Over 10,000 strongman fans have made the journey here for Europe's Strongest Man. And the stars are out in force. Among them, former greats like three-time World's Strongest Man Bill Kazmaier and four-time world champion Magnus Ver Magnusson. Preparing backstage, meanwhile, is perhaps the finest lineup of current strongmen this event has ever witnessed, gathered with one thing on their mind: taking the crown from the reigning and three times European champion Hafthor Julius Bjornsson. It won't be easy. Hafthor has history here. Hafthor took his third title in 2017 despite suffering with illness. This year, he says, that won't be a problem.
I'm definitely in my best shape of my life.
Worrying news for his rivals. One competitor who knows how tough it is to go up against the Mountain is the former Britain's Strongest Man and third-place finisher here last year, Terry Hollands.
I suppose for Europe's Strongest Man, everyone's going to be looking at four, I think, if I'm honest. He's huge, an absolute giant of a guy, but he's very athletic as well.
Bjornsson is a man without an obvious weakness, but he's not the only one here looking for a fourth title. Because the man they call the strongest in history, Zydrunas Savickas, is back.
You can never write Zydrunas off. He's been one of the best in the world for the last 20 years, so, he's probably the greatest strongman of all time.
Four-time world champion, Z won his last European title in 2013. What's his take on this year's competition?
For Europe's Strongest Man, it's really hard to do some predictions. Sure, maybe Hafthor is best shape now, but 5-6 guys can win the competition.
Athletes like the Georgian Bull, Konstantin Janashia, and Vytautas Lalas, a two-time runner-up, have real pedigree here. As does Britain's Graham Hicks, a podium finisher in 2014.
Everything is very close, and one mistake can make big difference.
For our first event, this mighty lineup is joined by some special international guests, the planet's biggest pressers for the World Log Lift Challenge, a contest that Savickas has dominated over the years. Here in Leeds, Z will be battling for a world record alongside global stars and one homegrown hero, the reigning World's Strongest Man, Britain's Eddie Hall. The Beast arriving injured this year, so frustratingly can only contest this opening event, but he's looking to make it count.
You know what, I was really looking forward to competing in Europe's Strongest Man, but it was about 3.5 weeks ago, I managed to snap my ankle. And then this week, I've been quite ill in the lead up. And, with all the injuries I've had to pull out and just do the log press. But these are reasons for me to do this log press. And I just use all these setbacks as fuel on a fire.
Among the other stars attracted by the Log Lift Challenge are Ian Beebe of Burkina Faso, who's astounded many with his overhead power, and Americans Rob Kearney and Robert Oberst. Obi, the US record holder, and a man who always enjoys a chance to take on Eddie Hall. This event, though, will be no joke.
The log press is a very dangerous event. At the World Log Champs 2015, I dropped 220 kilo on top of my head and it folded me up like a stick insect and threw me out. It was pretty nasty.
With the big men ready to go in Leeds, it's over to our own strength aficionados, Colin Bryce, and first, Big Danny Wallace.
Well, thanks, little James. The crowd is excited. Someone's going to be Europe's strongest man tonight. Will it be this man? Mark Felix from Britain, 51 and as strong as ever. The brilliant overhead lifter from Slovenia, Beljak. He's here. The very exciting Polish powerhouse, Kieliszkowski, destined for greatness. Then from Britain, Graham Hicks. He placed third at Europe's Strongest Man 2014. On to our second pole of the evening, Radziakowski, another former medalist. And then Big Tell, our third of four Brits, Terry Hollands. Lalas is back, 4 times qualified, world's strongest man. The Georgian bull himself, Janashia, the deadlift champ. Nothing we need to say about Big Z, except he's pretty much the strongest man in the world. From Iceland, after his 4th title at Europe's Strongest Man, it's Bjornsson. The primary school teacher from America, Rob Kearney. And also from America, you saw his t-shirt, strong and pretty, Robert Oberst holds the American record for the log lift. And this guy owns the African title for the log lift, the hugely exciting Iron BB. And then there's this man, suffering from acid reflux apparently, Eddie the Beast Hall. Now 10,000 people are coming here tonight. I don't know what proportion came to see Eddie, but it will be large. He's only here though for the World Log Lift Challenge. That's a rising weight contest. Just get heavier and heavier until we have a winner and a world record holder. Well, here's who's had a go so far. Kieliszkowski managed the opening weight of 175 but failed at 190. There's the turn of Lalas. Same story. So we move on to Robert Oberst, who managed 190 and will now take on 200.
Popular. Oberst has had some choice words with the British fans before. They haven't forgotten his American record, 211 kilograms, so this still well below that. Stands at 6'8". Not easy to be a good presser at that height, but he is. Oof.
Well, Robert Oberst didn't manage 200. So 190 is what he managed.
Oh, he came out sneering at the crowd and afraid that's all we'll see of him tonight. That's it.
Well, that's a shame for Robert Oberst, but we move on and we get heavier. 213 is the next weight. 9 men to go. Welcome back to Europe's Strongest Man at the First Direct Arena. We're on to round 4 of the World Log Lift Challenge. See at the bottom there, some big names already eliminated. We're going through to the next weight. Eddie Hall, Iron BB, Bjornsson, and it's 213 kilos. Janashia would have had a Georgian record, but didn't. After that, well, he's done the second biggest log lift ever, Polish record of 217. But Radziakowski also failed 213. Then Kearney. Now he won the World Championship for the log lift last year. It's not his night. So Hicks will be next from Britain. His attempt at 213, Colin.
Yeah, I mean, he claims the unofficial British record, 212. He shares the official one with Eddie Hall, 211 kilograms. But whatever happens, if either of them get this tonight, there'll be an increase and a new British record.
Well, look at this from Hicks. He's not got enough to do it. Just lost it at the end there. Nearly lost a couple of arms as well.
Yeah, I hope he's not injured. I mean, he's got time. If the referee thinks he's worth another attempt, he'll give him another 30 seconds to go for it. But I think Hicks is off. That was so close as well.
Move on then. Touching moment. To Hafthor Bjornsson, the mountain from Iceland.
Incredible, really. Bjornsson has the Icelandic record, 205 kilos. And at 6'9", again, long-armed, he just shouldn't be this good a presser. This will be a big increase on his own national record. Ready to do it.
Well, up it goes. And up it stays.
Wow.
Well, Bjornsson then moves on. Oh, blimey. No one saw Hafthor. No one saw... Oh, you've hit that as well.
Well, that was just extraordinary for Bjornsson. I never saw it going up that easily, if at all. A new Icelandic record. Great start to his Europe's Strongest Man campaign. He is continuing on, no guest.
He meant to do that. Ian Beebe then.
Come on, baby.
This guy's exciting.
Nickname is the unknown quantity. Just nobody knows quite what he can do. We've seen some grainy videos from Burkina Faso of him pressing 220 with ease. So this is, well, time to find out if it's all true.
Well, as I say, he holds the African record for the log lift. Rolls it up the chest.
Yeah, that's only 202.5 kilos, and that's been smoked.
Look at that. Answering Hafthor Bjornsson, being very careful not to triple stumble.
Yeah, and if you were wondering who had the 26-inch arms that James Richardson referred to earlier, right there. Wow, good pressing. 228 kilos, our world record, and he's definitely a threat for that now.
Such composure. Eddie Hall then. Only Zydrunas Savickas after him.
Yes, the world record holder has the courtesy of going last, but that is one world record this man wants tonight. So, British record if he gets this, but in his mind, I'm sure he's already done this.
Raising up the leads, the pace needs you out now.
Never a done deal, though. You saw what happened in the last World Log Lift Challenge he did. He dropped 220 kilos on his head.
Well, there you go. That's how you do it from the world's strongest man.
Wow. That was more commanding than both Hafthor and Ian Beebe by some margin. Very impressive.
Well, there you go, the new British record. Just walks off. Job done. We move on to Savickas.
The only man in history to have done 500 pounds overhead. 228 kilograms. This 213. 15 shy of that. Oh!
Can't do it. Wouldn't do it. Still got time if he wants to have another go.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a total rejection there. His triceps didn't quite fire off. He was only a couple of inches short of getting the press out. So still fancies it.
Well, this is good.
Well, you hear the MC there in the background. Kazmaier, he was the first man ever to do the log lift record. 155 kilos it was in those days.
Just can't do it. Not today. And you can see that the second lift just wasn't as good as his first. Just tired himself out. So we move on.
I mean, I've done it enough times to realise you need that middle lift. You need the 220 to warm.
Now we need to talk about what weight is next. Now Hall has said he wants to go to 220.
So there's only a couple of lifts left anyway. So whatever you want to go 230, I will go 230. Eddie, if you feel more confident doing 220,
Bibby wants 230.
Do what you want, man. So it's not about prize money for you. It's about records now, man. So
It's a big jump psychologically.
When I'm ready, then 230.
Wow.
You want to do 230 as well? Yes.
When I'm ready. All right, go on.
Well, they've agreed. 230 will be the next weight.
You sure you want to? You sure you don't want to jump? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Good. Just straight for 230.
Well, like I say, this is quite a leap. They could have gone to 220. That's what Hall wanted. But Bibby has set down this challenge. He wants to go straight to 230. And that's what's been agreed.
Well, Danny, I'm not sure that was the wisest move there from Eddie, but we'll soon see. This is he caught in a contest of machismo here.
Well, you were down there. I mean, what was that?
Yeah, I mean, it was a whole stuck to his game plan, saying 220, but then he got waylaid by Bibby, saying his energy would go down. He wants 230 now. The world record then by 2 kilograms, 505 pounds.
Well, maybe there's a reason he wants to go to 230. He knows he's got this, does he? Wow.
The longer that's on his chest, the less likely it is.
Wow.
There's no going backwards in weight either. So Hall has to come out for 230 now. There's no option.
So he managed to roll it up the chest.
I used to say anything he'd get to his chest, he'd press, but clearly it took it out of him. That's a heck of a weight.
Has this backfired? Will the risk be worth it for Eddie Hall? Obviously psyched himself up.
Well, he's done 2 world records in the last 2 years on this stage. The deadlift, half a ton. He's done the axle, 216 kilos last year. 3 out of 3. What do you reckon, Danny?
Let's see. He looks ready. But this was a surprise to him, wasn't it?
Well, it's certainly gone off game plan, but it's a world record if he were to do it. He looked tremendous at 213 kilos for a British record. This, 17 kilos up for the world record.
Off it goes. Come on, Eddie. Well, this is looking good. Up to a point. Well, look at him. He doesn't seem to have wasted much energy. This could be a second go.
I actually think...
He wants a pint first.
I don't think he wasted any energy at all. I think actually he probably just put it slightly on his chest wrong and just saw stars for a second. Eddie Hall could do this. The way he pumped up 213, surely he curled it up to his chest so easily as well. Take your time, Eddie.
Well, this is what they've come to see. Eddie Hall breaking records.
Well, in a way, he's had his warm-up 220. Probably would have liked to have finished off at 220 rather than a failed 230. But here we go, one more time. Come on, Eddie. Don't rock back on your heels. That's what he did in the last one.
This is why he's here today. This is the event he's come for.
Very much the blue ribbon event. This, the blue ribbon event's world record!
Well, look at this. No! Oh, Eddie Hall doesn't quite manage the 230. Comes within a whisker of another world record. But not today.
2 attempts and out, that's it. Magnus Fair. And the referee comes to shake his hand.
So close, Colin.
It was up and up and up, and then he just lost his balance.
So, heartbreak this time for Eddie Hall, the beast sharing the honours with Iron Bibi and Hafthor Bjornsson. Let's hope Eddie will be back again soon. Bibi certainly leaves hungrier than ever.
For the end of this year, I'm going to break this record. I will go back home, start working hard, and I will break it, for sure. So thank you so much for all the support.
Ladies and gentlemen, Iron Bibi!
Hey, how close though? Hey? That close. That close. Yeah, you know, that's a massive disappointment for me, and I've let the fans down, and I'm very sorry. But there's still a show to go. We've got Europe's Strongest Man, but thank you for coming and supporting me. Thank you very much. You haven't seen the last of the beast. I'll be back, and that record will be mine. I promise you that.
Well, with the log lift battle over for now, it's time to press on with the main event, the battle for the European title. And after the log, it is, of course, defending champion Hafthor Bjornsson who leads, with a 4-way tie for second place right behind him, which includes Britain's Graham Hicks. Time now for the deadlift. To tell us the rules, over to Colin and Danny.
Well, thanks, James. And the rules are fairly simple. Lift that. as many times as you can in 60 seconds. It weighs 380 kilos. Mark Felix was first to give it a go. Brilliant deadlifter. He managed 3 reps. Ahead of him, currently, Graham Hicks managed 4. And leading in the deadlift right now, this man, Lalas, 5 reps. So looking to beat that next, the current world deadlift champion, Janashia. Welcome back to the First Direct Arena. Congratulations to those two on their first kiss. The ones in the crowd, not those two. So the next pairing, we'll see Radziakowski from Poland, hugely exciting contender, up against the Georgian Bull, Konstantin Janashia. This will be quite the battle. He obviously is the current world deadlift champ.
Yeah, Radziakowski, interesting to see what kind of form his deadlift's in. He's faster off the ground, that's surprising. But Janashia, he pulled 5 at 400 kilograms last year to win that world deadlift champ. So I imagine he can eclipse that 5 by Lalas.
Well, Radziakowski looking very unstable there. All being overseen by Magnus Ver Magnussen, head ref.
Yeah, I mean, that's something you see a lot with Radziakowski. He's very explosive, but he's almost got too much power for his core. Wobbling around.
Well, it's 5 to beat. Janashia has equaled that. So what more can he bring to the table in the next 15 seconds or so?
Yeah, Janashia just perfectly built for it. I mean, look at those muscles in the back of his neck. It's extraordinary.
Well, this will put Janashia in the lead. Radziakowski concedes, and Janashia's not got it either.
Surprise.
That is surprising. Well, takes joint lead, whereas Radziakowski joint 4th so far with 3.
He never looked that comfortable, Janashia. All of them were, you have to really grind them out. 5 reps, though.
We'll move on then to Big Z. Actually the former world record holder for the max deadlift. Up against Hafthor. 3 times Europe's strongest man. Will he manage it a 4th time, Colin?
Well, Zydrunas, he too could manage it a 4th time. Before there was Thor, there was Big Z. But that was, it was quite a slow lift from Z.
Very slow.
He's always been a slow puller, but that was particularly slow. Bjornsson, 6'9", wow. Goes up easy.
Well, no slowing from Bjornsson, but Zavisca's taking this very slow and steady.
Just a little too slow and steady, I think, to get many more. Bjornsson, 1 more to equal Lalas and Janashia. He's done that.
Well, Bjornsson still has more than 20 seconds to play with.
Well, last pair out, so if he pulls it.
That's it. Well, yeah, he's taken the event with 6 reps. 10 seconds left if Savickas fancies this.
Yeah. No. I guess applause there from Hafthor, showing the great Z respect.
Well, that's 2 out of 2 then for Hafthor. Joint first on the log lift. He takes the deadlift with 6 reps. He's come here to make a statement.
I came here with one reason, to show the people that I am the strongest man in the world. Thank you.
Big statement from a big man. That's actually how I walk.
Mighty impressive from the mountain, taking the max in the axle ahead of Janashia, with Britain's Graham Hicks lying 4th, boosting his bid for a podium finish. Overall then, it's Thor on top with a 4-point lead over Janashia, Graham lying 3rd after 2 events, 2.5 points clear of Lalas, Radziakowski and Z.
Event number 3 of Europe's Strongest Man, and it is the Farmer's Walk. 160 kilos in each hand, has to be lifted up, carried 20 meters down the course, then 20 meters back again. Nice twist, Mr. Sadler, organising yet again a brutal contest. Quite thin handles, I feel, as well. This could tear some skin, couldn't it?
Yeah, it's a brutal event, 160 kilos in each hand. It's a good test of back strength and grip strength, so it's going to be quite a fast event, but I think the best man will be the man with the best grip at this weight.
My maths is right on. That's like 8 heavy suitcases in each hand. 16 suitcases. Get your head around that. 60 seconds, up and down the course. Let's see who's the strongest.
Well, let's do that. So first up, Terry Hollands. He's going to be packing his bags. I'm trying to keep the suitcase thing going. I'm not saying he's leaving. And Kieliszkowski as well. Now, Mark Felix has set the standard so far with 45.72. And it is all about grip, this.
Absolutely. But of course, you need quick feet as well, because the grip will go on anybody, and it's all about time. If you go too quick, though, Danny, you can clip your knee and go down. That's one thing you have to watch out for.
Very difficult to start. Again, once he's stopped. Kieliszkowski pulling ahead of Terry Hollands here. Got across the line, does so convincingly. Hollands right behind him. And really, I mean, that's very impressive. Under 20 seconds. Twice as fast as Mark Felix. And Terry Hollands manages 22.13.
Unbelievable, really. Goodness me. Twice as fast as Mark Felix. Extraordinary. Incredible determination there.
Up next then, Radziakowski. He'll be taking on Big Z.
Yeah, Cedrunas had one weakness in his armoury. I would say grip has let him down in the past on occasion.
Well, they're off.
Radziakowski gets the better start. Big Z, though. Here we go through the gears. Look how deep his chest is.
Radziakowski starting to sway a little bit. You don't want to do that.
Well, Terry and Kieliszkowski, they were at the turn in 10 seconds. They're more like 12 or 13, but it's Z who's up and away.
This is very impressive from Big Z. Manages it. Just around 23 seconds there.
Just outside Hollands, yeah. Oh, Radziakowski, is he going to finish this? Once the grip starts to go, there might be 25 seconds left, but those little muscles in the forearm, they don't exactly recover quickly.
Now look at this, going off course slightly.
He's got to be careful. If he just goes at this too much, he'll end up shredding his hands. He won't have the strength to lift it, just enough to shred them.
Really wants to finish this.
Front have to cross the line, 3 seconds left.
Well, that's that from Radziakowski, a brave attempt. Places 5th so far in the Farmer's Walk. It's really taken it out of him.
Well, Cedrunas, that was extraordinary. He was quite slow in the first getaway, but then in the turn, cat-like, up and turned and went. Super quick.
Talk about power. Here's Janashia, deadlift champ from last year. Georgian Bull up against Hafthor Julius Bjornsson.
He never gets any smaller, does he?
No, I was going to say, he's certainly got the height.
It's just extraordinary. From a distance, he looks like an average man at 6 foot, and then you realise he's just a perfectly proportioned giant.
His dad is even bigger than he is.
And so's his grandfather. Grandfather's 7 foot. That's not a joke. Anyway, 9-10 seconds is where Kieliszkowski was at the halfway. Bjornsson on target.
Can he make it 3 for 3?
The Bull.
Look at this. Janashia pulling ahead. Bjornsson's down. He's crossed the line. He's holding it just because he can.
Doesn't matter, you don't have to put it down. That was a little showboating there, a little statement to Bjornsson. But actually, neither of them have troubled Terry or Kieliszkowski. Potentially Z too. He enjoyed that, though.
It's not something I would enjoy.
Well, Janashia only placing 4th there. Bjornsson a surprising 5th, with a standout performance Kieliszkowski, reminiscent of another Pole, Mariusz Pudzianowski. Overall, that sees Thor's lead over Janashia narrow to 3 points, while further down Kieliszkowski's up to 6th, and Z moves into 3rd, past Graham Hicks. Back to Colin.
Yabba dabba doo! Car walk time! Maggie, car walk, £1,000 down a 20-metre course. We've seen the guys pick this up and virtually run with it. But we've also seen some guys get it terribly wrong. Hafthor Bjornsson blew his third title 2 years ago on this very event. Why can it be possible that some can do it so quickly and others have real trouble?
Well, first of all, you've got to make sure you pick it up high enough from the ground so it's not hitting when you're walking with it. Because if it hits, it's going to slow you down.
And I think they've got locking pins actually in the wheels as well, so actually the rubber bites the ground. Right then, on with the car walk.
On indeed. Now 4 guys have already had a go at this. Hicks is in the lead so far. But it is tricky. It can cost even the best.
I came, I believe, last place in that event, which cost me huge points. And I lost to Laurent Charlet, I believe, with sadly 1.5 points, 2016.
See what he's learnt in the past few years. But Mark Felix will be taking on Hafthor Bjornsson in this car walk.
Well, you can set the height. Bjornsson doesn't have to go down to normal man's height to get into it. And look how broad he is. He's as wide as the car. Good getaway.
And again, those wheels, if they touch the ground, really slow you down. No slowing when it comes to Bjornsson, though. 13.22. He's delighted with that. Felix struggling across that line.
Yeah, the front of the Felix's car just bit the rubber and he went down. Still impressive, the 51-year-old.
How does a man like that get out of the car like that?
That was a great effort. Is this a sign of things to come for World's Strongest Man 2018?
100%, I'm in great shape, best shape of my life right now. I'm gonna show the world, prove to my fans, I believe I'm the strongest man on the planet, and we'll see what's going to happen in a few weeks. Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, raise it up for Hafthor!
Well, he's got one message and he's sticking to it. And this was great from Bjornsson.
Yeah, he certainly improved on a massive weakness. Whether it'll still hold up at the end, because there's some good guys here.
Well, absolutely. Janashia and Big Z here.
Kielishkovsky to come as well in the next pairing. He's magnificent at this kind of thing.
So fast, isn't he? Yeah.
Oh, good from Big Z there. He went a little bit of a flyer.
Well, we've seen slow starts from Big Z, but not in this event.
Well, 13.22 from Hafthor has come and gone.
Good showing from Big Z. 16.2. And Janashia, slower than I was expecting. And engine trouble.
Yeah, Janashia slow and steady. Big Z, well, right now it's uncharacteristically fast.
The newly slimmed down boy band version of Terry Hollands then takes on Kielishkovsky. And as we said earlier, so fast Kielishkovsky when he wants to be.
Yeah, he's the one man who could trouble Laurent Charlet's world record, which is 11.09. This is really quick.
Well, will he take it? He's taken the event. He's taken a cameraman as well. 11.22, so a tenth of a second behind the record, but enough to take this event so far. Terry Hollands, 18.07, takes 5th.
That was so close to the record.
Round of applause. Mateus. Thank you for the support.
Maybe one day a World's Strongest Man winner like the other Pole, Pudzianowski, was. Very impressive.
Mateusz quite the mover, the Pole powering to a second straight event win, but he might want to read up on his stopping distances. Also taking some stopping, Hafthor Bjornsson gets a solid second. That means Thor's extended his lead over Janashia to 7 points. Graham Hicks drops to 5th behind Kielishkovsky and Savickas, but he's still in contention for the podium. Can he do it? And can the mountain hold off the challenge of the Georgian Bull for one last event? As ever, it'll be the Atlas Stones to decide after this. Back at the First Direct Arena for the final event of Europe's Strongest Man. Hafthor Bjornsson holding a 7-point lead over Konstantin Janashia as he battles for a 4th European title. It is a mighty lead, but with this lineup of stone lifters, it's far from over.
Oh, what a contest! And it all comes down to the stones, of course. The cornerstone of every good strongman contest. 120 kilos. Heavier than me. 140, 160, 180, 200 kilograms. 440 pounds, 35 stone, the big stone. That's right, that's how heavy it is. Bill Kazmar. Hafthor's got a commanding lead. He's a great stone lifter. Can he slip up?
I don't know how. After those 4 grueling events to lead up to this, he possibly could. You guys have killed these athletes with the events you've put together. But I think Hafthor has got plenty left. He's so fast. He's so strong. He's getting ready to take on the world and dominate. That's the way the Icelanders do it.
Well, he's never looked better. And if he finishes this off in style, who'd bet against him for the world's strongest man title? Let's find out.
Well, the marquee event, the Atlas Stones. It's all English. Terry Hollands up against Graham Hicks. Hicks is the one to watch here. He's only 2.5 points off the podium if he does well here.
He's had a great season, Hicksy. Came second at the Britain's Strongest Man contest behind Eddie Hall, and now could get himself on the podium of Europe's again. Might I add, he's done it before. Hollands on the left. Obviously not that graphic. That's you, Danny.
Well, Hollands has the height.
But Hicksy has the power. Oh, but a good comeback there from Hollands.
Pretty much neck and neck at the moment. Hicks needs to do very well. Hollands has overtaken, thrown a little weapon, it seems, at Hicks there.
He's got a little pot of tacky glue there. Is he going to come back and do the 5th, Terry, or has he had enough? Come on, Terry, the fans would love it. Hicksy struggling on the 4th. This is not the run he would have wanted to get in the podium.
Hollands knows what the crowd wants.
Right, on with the tacky glue. 15 seconds to do it, Terry. Hicksy has to admit defeat.
Well, can Terry get the 5th one?
I don't think he's got time.
Of course he's got time, Colin.
Well done, Terry.
Well, he didn't need to do that. Nice gesture. Managed all 5 with 2.25 seconds left to spare. Just got that power. He's just fitter now. And I mean that in all senses.
Terry, what a reaction from the crowd, mate, when you went for stone number 5. They love that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, as I've said last year, it's crowds like this that keep me coming back. You know, I'm 39 in a couple of months' time, and, you know, I'm nearing the end, but all the time we're getting shows like this happening, I'll keep coming back as long as my body allows me to.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know they've entertained you. Show your love, show your appreciation for Graham Hicks and Terry Hollands.
Well, nearing the end, he says, at 39. I think he means of his career, I hope. Kwiatkowski, then. And as you say, such an exciting Polish contender.
Well, the youngest and the oldest next to each other.
Yes, 42, Big Z.
Old enough to be his dad. Though he isn't, might I add.
That we know of.
Right. Speed against experience here. Oh, my goodness me. Just one motioning it.
Again, he is just so fast, Kwiatkowski.
What he's good at, he's just unbelievably good at. His weaknesses like deadlift and it didn't used to be log. If he can work on those, he's a threat for World's Strongest Man.
Well, look at this. He's trashed the 57.75 he had to beat. Managed it in just over 24 seconds. Big Z struggling.
Come on, Z, the fans would love to see this.
Well, currently 3rd, managed 4. 22.25 seconds.
And he was 3rd overall, Danny. I'm not sure he's going to be 3rd at the end of this. I think he might have been bumped off the podium there.
Janashia, 2nd overall at the moment, up against Hafthor Julius Bjornsson. He said one thing today and one thing only. Just wants to show everybody he's the strongest man in the world. Let's start with Europe, though.
Well, the lineup's almost the same. Janashia, he's the one man who could still beat Bjornsson and take the title, but he really needs a blinder, and Bjornsson to struggle with the fourth and not even put it up. How likely is that?
Well, pretty much neck and neck, but Bjornsson now getting the advantage.
He used to call himself the King of Stones, and for good reason. Look at that. 4 in 17 seconds. He can do the fifth if he wants it, I'm sure.
Needs for the four to take his time. He's got the points.
He's not sure now whether he's won it. If Janashia props this up, he might still need to do this.
And he does. Well, look at that. There you go. That means that Hafthor Bjornsson, for the fourth time, is Europe's strongest man. Great showing from Janashia.
Absolutely. Janashia once again putting in a solid performance as the best of the rest, but this guy head and shoulders above the others.
Literally as well in some cases. So Bjornsson did all 5, slower than Kieliszkowski, but he had the points to take Europe's.
Number 4, yeah!
He's proving he can count. And it all counts. Bjornsson and 44 points. Janashia, Kieliszkowski behind him. We'll see them at World's Strongest Man. But right now, all we care about is Europe's Strongest Man. And what we care about even more than that is how we close the show. Please enjoy a montage.
You haven't seen the last of the beast. I'll be back. I believe I'm the strongest man on the planet.
Wow. Thor makes it 4 on the mountain, laying down a real marker there for the World Finals coming up later in Manila. Well, next up for us on Giants Live, we're heading off across the Atlantic to Martinsville, Indiana for the North American Open. Rob Kearney, the defending champion, will be there, and a host of other US stars, but also some UK names like Lawrence Shahlaei and Mark Felix. Hopefully you'll be joining us too next time on Giants Live.